So the DNC picked their new leader over the weekend, and the result was both predictable and pathetic. So to sum it up, meet the new boss, same as the old boss. Tom Perez won. He was the choice of the establishment. Obama supported him. Hillary Clinton wanted him. He won with 235 votes in the second ballot, which basically means that Keith Ellison, who was Bernie's choice, made it a close race and, was right there with him in the first ballot. So Tom Perez was Obama's labor secretary. And probably the two most important facts about him, he supported Hillary over Bernie vociferously and ferociously early on in the primary process. Make of that what you will. You would think that the DNC would say, the Hillary Clinton version and flavor of Democratic politics didn't work, so maybe we try something new to stop Trump, because again, it's been proven that that establishment corporate brand of Democratic politics is a disaster. But no, they still went in that direction either way. So he was Obama's labor secretary. He supported Hillary over Bernie, and he was pro-TPP. So now we have the leader of the DNC is now a complete and utter embodiment. He is the quintessential version of a corporate Democrat. Now, don't get me wrong, when he was Obama's labor secretary, so one of the things that he did that I absolutely loved was he changed the overtime rules. He was largely responsible for drafting that, it's not legislation, but the proposal which changed the overtime rules. So instead of people making like $23,000 a year and less getting overtime by law, they doubled it. So it was about, $45,000 or so a year. If you make that or less, then you get overtime by law. That's since been, held up in the courts and everything. But so that was one of the good things that he did. But here's how I view it. And I think the last election that really proves that this should be the mentality and the mold that the entire Democratic Party takes. TPP is strike one, you're out. There's no 2 and 3. I mean, that's a deal breaker. You can't say, I'm a liberal, I'm a progressive, I care about working people, and oh yeah, by the way, let's embrace this outsourcing bill which would ruin their factory towns, drive wages down further, exploit slave labor in Malaysia, allow in Brunei, who officially has Sharia law as part of the trade deal. I mean, it's unconscionable that this is something that's still debatable. And again, this is going to lead to more crazy Republican victories, with all of their backwardness. In Trump, what you had is somebody who knew how to be a fake straight shooter and say, oh yeah, I'm for the people. But he actually sold it better than Hillary was able to sell it, because Hillary's record was so crystal clear on trade. NAFTA, she was supported NAFTA. TPP, she pushed for it 45 times before she tepidly came out against it because Bernie pushed her to be against it. She called it the gold standard of trade deals. So this is why you had the Rust Belt, which was formerly a Democratic stronghold. It flipped and it went Republican. And Hillary and the Democrats were so arrogant, she didn't even step foot in Wisconsin. She didn't campaign in a bunch of those states because she thought we got it on lock. But Trump was hitting, outsourcing every goddamn speech, and Hillary barely brought it up, and she didn't bring it up because everybody knows that she's actually for it. So, but now you have Tom Perez leading the DNC, and this is a guy who's going to do the same goddamn thing. This is the same kind of mindset that he has. He worships the corporations. Now, we also discussed a story recently. He ran away from a tough question on Israel. Why? Because some of the big money donors to the Democratic Party are Israeli billionaires. So, he doesn't want to rock the boat. He doesn't want to say, he was asked if he opposes the demolition of innocent Palestinians' homes. And he didn't answer, he ran away. He ran away from that. Who does that? The person who does that is bought. And this is the moral courage or lack thereof of Tom Perez. So, by the way, along with Tom Perez winning, get this, the DNC voted to keep taking corporate money. There was a quote on Twitter from somebody, like they debate this internally and they voted on it. And apparently one of the Democrats said, I trust the Democrats to only take money from good corporations. Come again? Only take money from good corporations. They're unbelievable, man. They think they can play the game of taking corporate money and win, and also keep credibility with the base. Again, that's one of those things where when the base hears that you're taking corporate money, they're not interested in you because they know that you're really, when push comes to shove, going to serve the corporations, because that's human nature. They give you way more money, so okay, let me listen to them over everybody else, including my constituents. You're not fooling the base anymore. And by the way, if you buy into that framework, what's going to happen? You're never going to outraise the Republicans with corporate money because they don't even pretend to want to be against it. You know, you have virtually all the Republicans, they go to Wall Street with their dick in one hand and their hand out asking for money in the other. So they don't care. I mean, they're proudly dismantling Dodd-Frank right now. So if you buy into that framework and that system that says corporate money is the way to go, well, then they're always going to outraise you. So not only is it dumb on principle because you're selling out your base, it's also dumb practically speaking because that's a mold that's never going to work for you. So you have to say no corporate money and no big donor money. That's the only way. That's the only way. Now, you know who's doing that? Justice Democrats. So this is the answer, guys. When I was watching this result and it was massively depressing, I realized that this isn't cause or reason for Justice Democrats to put our tail between our legs and go home crying. This just means we have to fight harder because the establishment Democrats, the corporatists, still haven't gotten the message. And the message is no corporate money, no big donor money, and you have to stand for actual progressive values and policies. You have to fight for single payer. You have to fight for a living wage. You have to fight for universal college. You have to fight for no nation building. This has to be front and center. This has to be what your message is about, but it's not. What they do, what the corporate Democrats do, is they take something like diversity, for example, and they do kabuki theater. Oh, we are pro-diversity. Isn't it great to have people from different backgrounds and races and religions and culture? And oh, yes, I am going to fight for you. And then they turn around and all they do is serve the corporations. So they're doing what I call McLiberalism, which is, you know, you pretend like, oh, yeah, I'm on your side. And then all you do is serve Wall Street and serve the corporations. Well, we're here to actually fight for progressive values, to actually fight for the right things, fight for the American people. And by the way, we've been massively successful to this point, but we still need you because obviously the Democratic Party is still run by the corporatists. The DNC appointed people for their anti-Trump war room who were the people from Hillary's campaign who just lost to Trump. That's the craziest thing I've ever fucking heard in my life. They just lost to Trump, and the DNC goes, great, we want you to be the ones who are in charge of the framing to fight back against Trump. Well, then you're going to lose again. And by the same token, you put Tom Perez in there, a corporate bitch boy, you're going to lose again because the base isn't buying it anymore. So Justice Democrats, we've teamed up with, and we're working in conjunction with, brand new Congress. Now, brand new Congress is similar to what Justice Democrats is doing, except they're nonpartisan. So what that means is they basically have one rule: no corporate money, no big donor money, and we're going to have politicians that represent the people, but they're not just doing it for Democrats, they're also doing it for Republicans, because it turns out that even the Republican base goes, yeah, I don't want big money controlling our politics. Yeah, I don't want the George Soros to be able to contribute to politicians and get what he wants. So they're also against big money in politics. The Republican base is. So brand new Congress is saying, well, let's be nonpartisan and just run people to get a non-corrupt Congress. So even if you and I don't agree on the specific policies, at least we know the person is a genuine actor and he's not just serving the donors. So brand new Congress does that. Everybody already knows, you guys know, Justice Democrats is within the Democratic Party. It's the hostile takeover by the Bernie wing with principled people who take no corporate money and no big donor money. So we've teamed up. And listen to these results, man. I got to give you these new numbers because it's incredible. We have about 170,000 supporters between us. We have 7,900 nominations, of which 70 people have made it past 4 rounds of vetting and are training as candidates right now as we speak. So 7,900 people, rigorous vetting process, system they have to get through, and then at the end of it, they pick the best candidates, and we run them. and we primary the shit out of all the corporatists. That's the idea behind this. And by the way, listen to this. So far, nearly $1 million. We're not there yet, but we're getting close. Between brand new Congress and Justice Democrats, nearly $1 million raised in small money donations. So that's regular people, that's working people, and they contribute to us because we've made crystal clear we don't want big money, we're not going to represent the corporations, so people know. This is a movement I got to get behind because guess what? People represent their donors. Who are our donors? Regular people. Regular people who, when it comes to Justice Dems, for example, you read our platform, you see exactly what we stand for, man. You know, it's crystal clear. It's laid out there in quite a bit of detail. And you can see that we are fighting for the things, and on the overwhelming majority of those things, the American people agree. The American people are just simply left-wing when you go issue for issue and you show them the policies. So you see what we're fighting for. You see we're serious because we're taking no big donor money and corporate money, and so people flock to that, man, and they're right to. And by the way, the establishment press, there were murmurs here and there were, you know, some politicians who are like, okay, I see what's happening here and this isn't good. But largely, the strategy they've taken has been, see no evil, hear no evil. Let me look away and act like I don't know what's happening here. Because if they do that, they think the problem might go away. And it is a problem for them. It's a problem that you have principled people who are not corrupt coming up to primary them. They think, oh, I hope this goes away. I hope my corporate money can you know, crush it under my boot and get away with this. Well, the answer is hell no. That's not going to happen. So what I need you to do is go to justicedemocrats.com, and this is all the more reason to sign up. I mean, look, the Democratic Party still hasn't learned their goddamn lesson. Tom Perez is now the leader of the DNC. A Hillary-supporting, TPP-loving, Israel question-dodging son of a bitch is now the leader of the DNC. So we need you to go sign up. Put your name in support of it. If you can, donate $27, just like you did for Bernie Sanders' campaign. Nominate somebody you know to run. We got to get this done. We got to keep fighting because we can't lay down anymore. If not us, who? If not now, when? We know that we have to do these things, and we have to do them ASAP because we can't wait that much longer with orange fascist buffoon in there. You know, we got to fight back, and we got to have a strong Democratic Party. If we run fucking Cory Booker or Tim Kaine against Donald Trump in 2020, it's probably likely that Donald Trump, despite all of his fuck-ups, will have a second term. I don't want that. You don't want that. None of us should want that. So go to justicedemocrats.com right now. Let's show them that we're serious, and let's have a bunch of wins in 2018. And remember, this isn't just us doing it. It's you. This movement is all about you. So you need to lead it. You need to run. Get involved. justicedemocrats.com, because I can't take this nonsense anymore.